Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to Watch You On. Thanks for logging on. It could be said that among luxury watchmaking maisons, none is more controversial than Hublot. The neon-based watchmaker has been a lightning rod for controversy, regularly polarizing the watch-loving cognoscenti along two lines. Partisan lines, I must say. Those who get it, those who enjoy the loud, proud, unbowed image of the watchmaker, and those who argue that no, luxury watchmaking is about great ideas, important designs, epic events. It's very, very serious, very grave, and must be taken as such. And the bottom line is that this Hublot Big Bang Unico titanium ceramic may be the peacemaker, the one that unifies these two warring parties, because not only do you have the classic Hublot look, like I said, loud, proud, and unbowed, layered, expressive of its materials, large, basically a machine turned inside out, but you also have, for the first time on a large scale, Hublot's in-house watchmaking competence and material science turned to the cause of expressing the company's sheer competence in technology and manufacture, the extent of what can be done within the walls of Hublot in this day and age. Not just the look, but also the substance, the steak and the sizzle, all in one watch. All in one watch and all on your wrist. Let me take a quick look at how this looks. Now this is the Hublot Big Bang Unico titanium ceramic, so a little bit bigger than the old 44.5 millimeter Big Bang. This one's now about 45.5, so still not the size of a King Power. A bit more presence, a bit more shoulder, a bit burlier than the original Big Bang. What hasn't changed is the essential shape, the use of short, tightly hewn lugs. They really stick quite close to the edge of the case. They don't project much. There's also a very supple natural rubber strap. Now, Hublot was really a pioneer in the use of unconventional materials when they launched their first Hublot model in 1980. Now, back then the company was called MDM Genève, and Hublot was actually the name of the model of watch. But combining a precious metal case back then with a rubber strap was revolutionary. Now, obviously, the idea stuck, and it stuck well, with everyone from Patek Philippe to Audemars Piguet themselves picking up on it. But the bottom line is that Hublot continues to innovate, not standing pat. Here you see a combination of that supple, natural rubber strap with brushed titanium and revolutionary ceramic on the bezel with titanium bezel bolts. These are the signature Hublot H pattern bezel bolts, a defining feature of the Big Bang. The ceramic is new, and what it gives you is a scratch resistance that is on par with the sapphire of the crystal, so that traditional Achilles heel of a big sports watch, the vulnerable bezel, becomes more of an asset than a vulnerability. It'll actually shield most of the titanium case and take most of the knocks. Being just as hard as sapphire, you know how hard it is to scratch and scuff that? The ceramic gives you the ability to wear this watch a little bit more carefree, enjoy it a bit more, a little lighter on the wrist, a little bit less guarded when you swing your arm around. And that's a great thing, because wearing a sports watch is about carefree fun, not being self-conscious, and above all, not being reserved and anxious. The ceramic gives you the ability to do that, and it keeps your watch looking sharp. Now, the ceramic itself features a contrasting polished flank and a brushed top, so even the look of the ceramic in classic Hublot fashion has been carefully studied and beautifully rendered. Now, the layered case is a long-standing Hublot, especially Hublot Big Bang signature. You can see how it has a polished flank, but expression of each layer from the case back to the bottom of the case to this composite resin insert along the side, the top of the case also polished along its flank, and of course that beautiful ceramic bezel with its bezel gasket, also a sort of composite material right below. Everything is expressed, everything is layered. It's kind of Bauhaus in its construction, and it is the size of a building, so deservingly so. The bottom line is that the architectural statement Hublot's designers make here continues on the inside. We dive down from the bezel's periphery into the dial, and we can see a sort of dished chapter ring with black, red, and white accents, a beautiful tricolor tone that defines the dial. There's actually a sapphire below a sapphire here, so underneath the sapphire, with the Hublot marquee cleverly printed on the inside for durability, there's another sapphire on which the indexes and the numerals and the chronograph minutes subdial and the constant seconds subdial are actually placed. Below that sapphire, you can see a skeletonized date disc that runs around the periphery, and there's a little white disc within the chronograph subdial here, and when each skeletonized date moves over that white disc, it highlights itself. Otherwise, the skeletonized disc allows you to continue to peer deeper down into the movement, into that Unico caliber 1240 movement, and you can see the base plates, you can see the jewels, you can see the wheels. And at 6 o'clock right there, I'm going to actuate the chronograph. You can actually see the movement of the column wheel, the defining feature of every high-end chronograph as it cycles through its operation, as the chronograph is operated. Now, significantly, the Unico movement, every single one of them that has a chronograph is also a flyback chronograph. So you can reset the watch on the fly, instantly restarting the movement. So if you want to time events that are occurring in rapid succession, you have that flexibility without having to do a sidestep, start, stop, reset, start. It's a nice convenient feature, it's added value. A flyback is a complication on top of a complication, once again proving that Hublot is beginning to find its sea legs as a watchmaker. Also, features abound. Quick change straps. Now this watch has the ability to swap out straps among the universe of accessory options offered by Hublot. You can find everything from leather to other colors of rubber to two-tone. Again, a universe of options, so I'm not going to get into them. Just know that Hublot gives you that quick push-button option to change. If you like a big panerai, you like to dress it up, you like to swap shoes, as they say, new strap, new watch. If you're coming from that panerai background and you're already familiar with swapping out straps yourself, the bottom line is things just got a lot easier thanks to Hublot's quick release system. Now on the case back, you see the signature Unico movement. Full balance bridge. It also includes silicon in the escapement, which is both durable and anti-magnetic for additional resilience. This movement is just that much tougher because of it. Now, the Unico movement was designed to look great, front and rear. You can see the skeletonized dial, which we just went over, but here you can also see how open it is, how the bridges have been opened up and partially skeletonized, how the wheels have been carved out and really reduced to just a spider's web's essence. There's a tungsten winding rotor set within an extensively skeletonized winding rotor structure, and that really solves one of the key problems of most automatic movements, which is that at any given time, the rotor usually obscures half the movement itself. So it's nice of Hublot to think about presentation. Now, Hublot's great at building great-looking watches, so I wouldn't worry too much about what you can or can't see. The bottom line is that Hublot knows to open up the rotor, they know to open up the movement, they know to open up the dial, and they know to create a watch that looks the business. Now, what they've also done is they've created a complete package, and you're going to get all of it, all accessories, the famed Hublot porthole display case, all boxes, papers, manuals, everything you'd received at the Hublot boutique comes with this watch. It's a very entertaining boxed set that adds real value to what's already a phenomenal watch. As I stated, Hublot has sort of unified the two warring camps, those who are into watchmaking as such, who love machinery, who love high horology, who love complications, who admire the watchmakers that can build all of that in-house without having to go and outsource engineering. It unifies that group with those who already love the image of Hublot, who love the flamboyance of it, who love the confidence of it, who love the size of it, the look of it on the wrist, and the feel of it. Hublot is definitely a haut courant manufacturer, but the bottom line is it's not necessarily a flash in the pan either. Like I said, that first Big Bang, the one that really caught fire and launched the company to its current prominence, that was 2005, and today, in 2015, Hublot is celebrating 1 decade of the Big Bang, still going strong, still the hottest thing on the block. So if those two warring parties can finally find common cause over the Unico caliber, I have a feeling for an awful lot of watch enthusiasts out there, this Hublot Big Bang Unico titanium ceramic may be just the watch they want.